Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back with me, Naufal, your favorite host. And well, in today's episode, actually we are gonna compare these two things on my hand. So the name is keyboard. Yeah, this is the same thing actually. The name is keyboard, and this is the Vortex VX5 Pro in the right hand, and well, on the left hand is the Logitech G213. So yes, it has this. It has a different brand, and now we are gonna compare the difference and also tell the similarities out of these two keyboards. So, what are you waiting for? Without any further ado, let's just jump into it, shall we? Yes, actually, these two things is the same thing. So, this is the keyboard. The name is keyboard. The function is to type whatever key that you put into your monitor or your PC or laptops. So yes, the function is just the same, the main function is the same, but it has a lot of difference also. So now we are gonna compare these difference out of these two. Okay, the first thing that I wanted to tell you is the build quality. As you can see in this Vortex VX5 Pro, it is built by a plastic, and yes, this is the plastic, and you can tell there's a plastic. The physics about this keyboard, for example, like the build quality, it has the same solid plastic body, and then also the difference between the layout. So it has a 60% layout, while this keyboard, it has a full size keyboard layout, which is it contains much more keys, as you can see. So you can clearly see it like that. So this is size comparison. The G213 is much bigger and much longer than the Vortex VX5 Pro. And then, well, the next clear difference is of course the color of the thing as well. Of course, you can clearly see, right? It has a black color, while the Vortex VX5 Pro, it contains with white color. So yeah, this is white, and while the G213 is black. Well, after I tell you about that, I'm gonna tell you about the switch. So inside of this keyboard, there are switches. Okay, as you can see, there are switches. The VX5 Pro, it contains a mechanical keyboard switches, which is it has a switch that has more durable than the membrane switches, while the Logitech, well, unfortunately, because it released almost 6 years ago, so yeah, it using a membrane keyboard switches. So yeah, the mechanical keyboard switches is more customizable than the membrane switches. In mechanical keyboard, well, you could change almost the keycaps and also the switches, while the membrane, unfortunately, you can't, but it is still a pretty solid deal if you're really looking for full-size keyboard. Yes, we are gonna talk about the RGB between these two keyboards. As you can see, in the RGB, the Vortex VX5 Pro, it has the RGB, so you could change to whatever color that you want. In G213, you must open some kind of custom application of Logitech, while the Vortex VX5 Pro, you don't need to do that. So yeah, it is more convenient than the G213. Okay, the next is about typing test for each keyboard. This is probably the most favorite part that I really like to do. So yeah, if you really like to know the sound of Vortex VX5 Pro compared to the Logitech G213, well, here we go. So yeah, in conclusion, all of these keyboard function pretty well, and it is just based on preference. If you really, like I said before, if you really like a bigger keyboard, then just buy the G213. And then if you really like a smaller keyboard, then just buy the Vortex VX5 Pro. I'm gonna tell you about the price of this thing. So the Vortex VX5 Pro, it costs about 420,000 rupiahs, while the Logitech G213, it costs about 600 or more thousand rupiahs. So yes, the Logitech is actually pretty much more expensive than the Vortex VX5 Pro. So yeah, if you don't want to spend more than a 500 on a keyboard, well, then you could just buy this, because this is pretty much much cheaper than the Logitech G213, and also the quality of the switch and the keycap is pretty good. So yeah, because this thing is built in 2021, while the Logitech G213 is built in 2016 or 15, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, well, I think that's all I could say from this comparative two things. So yeah, thank you for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.